right, we're here yet again with another exciting box of sports cards from CSG. CSG is CGC's new-ish sports card grading division, and I think they've really been kind of stepping up since they started. Changed their labels a while back. Good-looking cards, and they grade really strictly, which some people don't like, but I think as a long-term investment, I think people will realize that some companies grade more strictly than others and will pay a premium for those harsher grades. We've been sending some kind of smaller, like older tobacco cards and things like that to these guys just as an experiment to sort of see how they grade them and how they sit in the cases and everything. And they did a pretty good job last time, so I sent quite a few more in this time. It's them right there, 1948 Japanese baseball Manko. See, I sit a little off center. PSA kind of does the same thing with their cases. You tap them, they'll center up. SGC is really the only company that has like a really good system for like keeping these like beautiful. So yeah, some pretty nice grades considering that's 1948 baseball. You know, great art on these guys. This is most of the players in this set. This set also happened to feature Betty Boop, Mickey Mouse, and Popeye. Also features this guy. Now this guy, in the Japanese, I believe, National High School Championships, which I think might be college here. I think they call high school college, I always forget. This guy pitched a full game with a broken arm. And when they asked him why he did it, he said because he loved baseball so much that he didn't want to miss playing any baseball for any reason in his life. Now, I'm not a sports guy, but that's badass, so I'm probably going to hang on to that one for my collection. Also badass. 1974 Yamakatsu New Japan Pro Wrestling, which strangely featured the McGuire brothers, which some people may recognize from the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's fattest twins. They're pretty famous in the 1970s, appeared on a lot of weird talk shows and things like that. They're in the Guinness Book of World Records Viewmaster set. Cool picture of them riding around on a motorcycle. Antonio Inoki, I mean, that guy's like the Hulk Hogan of Japan. Unfortunately, he's not more well-known in the US, but he's a pretty legendary wrestler. I mean, he doesn't have a cape or anything like this guy, but he's still pretty cool. And again, pretty decent grades for these. These are tough cards to find. Getting worse. It's only a 6. It's like Jake the Snake, but before Jake the Snake. He knew. He ripped his whole shtick off. Oh man, the Royal Kangaroos. Come on, who wouldn't want to wrestle those guys? So Antonio Inoki winning something. Seiya Suzuki, silver autograph. Say Suzuki, something or other. Oh, Roki Sasaki. He's going to be like the next guy. Oh, more 1948 baseball. Got mixed up in there. Seiya Suzuki bookstore only edition of that card. And you probably can't see this, but it's real sparkly or something. CSG 10 Roki Sasaki card. Ooh, and another one. So BBM, which is kind of like the tops of Japan, they produce a lot of sports cards. BBM stands for Baseball Magazine. They produce all types of cards and produced all sorts of publications over the years, but they do a really high quality card. And this is from their Genesis set, which is like a little bit fancier sets. They cost a little more to buy at retail, and they're just absolutely beautiful sets. Oh, there is Momiji Nishia, 13-year-old Olympic skating champion. I think this is, yeah, number 133 out of 200. And Gachapin, number 88 out of 100. Come on, that's the coolest baseball card you've ever seen. Oh. Some fancy signature card. I don't even know who that player is, but I just couldn't resist getting that thing graded. It was pretty. Mercedes Suzuki. Sasaki. One of my all-time favorite athletes. I love to tell this story every time I get the chance. Like, they found this woman dead, basically, in a wrecked plane, like out in the middle of nowhere in Texas. And this was after she had won the 28 Amsterdam Olympics and became the first, or definitely one of the first ever female Olympic gold medalists. And she wasn't actually dead when they found her. She was in a coma and, like, you know, had to go through tons and tons of rehab. And she competed in the 1932 Olympics, even though she could no longer get into a crouching position due to her injuries. And she was an integral part of the relay team, which is one of the biggest upsets of the Olympic Games. Or no, sorry, that was not 32 Olympics. She couldn't compete in it all. So 36 Olympics that happened in. So these are both Salem cigarettes, but they have different backs. So this is actually a Jasmatsi, but it's a bunch of brands used the same cards. They would just have different backs on them. Some are a little trickier to find than other backs, but you know, it's a cool set of variations, though I am noting that the label does not correctly state Jasmatsi. So one of those might go back to get its label corrected. I'll have to call them up and see. Lovely 1938 boxing personalities. Like, you know, this is a cool, pretty accessible set. I mean, they're around dead stock, and you can find relatively high grades, you know, compared to other stuff of the era. I mean, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Jake Kilrain. I mean, these are all like Hall of Famers, great cards. And, you know, more just crazy Olympic nonsense like we like to send in. And more Seiya Suzuki like we send in. Gene Tooney, I think he might be the guy that finally beat Jack Dempsey. Schmeling, Jack Dempsey, you know, I mean, 1920s boxing cards, you cannot go wrong. And that is it for this shipment from these guys.